Let me ask you something. How many times have you sat down in January, wrote out your goals for the year, maybe even made a vision board or built a plan in a spreadsheet, and by March, nothing looked like that plan? Be honest. Most business owners don't have a goal problem. They have an operations problem. And in 2026, the gap between operators who grow and operators who stay stuck isn't going to be about who works harder. It's going to be about who is set up differently. Today, I'm giving you the 5 operational shifts that will actually change your outcomes this year. Not mindset tips, not a morning routine, operational shifts. Let's get into it. Real quick, if you are building a business, leading a team, or trying to stop running everything by yourself, subscribe to this show. This isn't theory, it isn't hype. This is operator thinking, the decisions and systems that actually move businesses forward when the cameras are off. Hit subscribe. Let's keep going. Welcome to Notebook of a COO. We're here to give operators, entrepreneurs, and business owners the systems, frameworks, and clarity they need to run a business that actually works. Not just looks good on the outside, works on the inside. Today's episode is our annual reset, but we're not doing the typical new year, new you version of it. We're doing the operator version. Because the truth is, January 1st doesn't fix anything on its own. What fixes things is changing the system that produced the results you didn't want. So today, we're walking through 5 shifts, not ideas, not advice, operational shifts, that if you actually implement them, 2026 becomes a fundamentally different year for your business. Here's what I see constantly, and I want to name it so you can recognize it if it's happening to you. Business owners finish a hard year. They reflect. They feel motivated. They set goals, revenue targets, hiring plans, new offers, and then they walk right back into the same business with the same systems, the same bottlenecks, the same broken workflows, and they expect different results. That's not a mindset problem. That's an operations problem. Drop a comment right now if this sounds familiar, because I know I'm not the only one who has done this. The issue is that most business owners treat January like a motivational reset instead of an operational one. Motivation doesn't build systems. Systems build businesses. So let's build. Here are the 5 operational shifts that make 2026 different. Shift number 1. Stop planning in goals. Start designing in systems. Here's a question worth sitting with. What's the system that produces the result you want? Not the goal, the system. Because a goal tells you where you want to go. A system tells you how you're going to get there every single week, whether you feel motivated or not. There's a big difference between saying, I want to hit $1 million this year, and designing a lead flow, a sales process, a fulfillment engine, and a cash management structure that could reasonably produce $1 million. One is a wish. One is an operating model. The shift I want you to make right now is this. For every major goal you have this year, ask yourself, what is the repeatable system that makes this inevitable? Revenue is a byproduct of a working operation. Build the operation first. Shift 2. AI is your new COO, if you know how to use it. This one is big, and I want to be really specific here because there is a wrong way and a right way to think about this. The wrong way. I've been meaning to use ChatGPT more. The right way. Building AI into your actual operating workflows systematically so it functions less like a novelty and more like a member of your team. In 2026, AI isn't a competitive advantage anymore. It's becoming table stakes. The operators who are going to win aren't the ones who dabble with AI. They're the ones who have mapped out their workflows, identified the highest leverage functions, and built AI into the system, not just the side conversations. Here's what that looks like in practice. Your lead follow-up? AI can handle the initial responses, qualify the inquiry, and route the right leads to the right person without you touching it. Your SOPs? If they're still living in someone's head, AI can help you extract, draft, and structure them in a fraction of the time it used to take. Your content, not lazy, generic content. I'm talking about your email sequences, your follow-up frameworks, your onboarding materials, produced faster and tested faster. Your customer support? AI can handle the first layer, FAQs, status updates, basic inquiries, and free your team to focus on the complex stuff. And your decision making? AI compresses research time. You still make the call, but you make it faster and with better information. Think of it this way. Every operator needs a COO, someone who manages the internal functions so the CEO can focus on growth. Most small business owners can't afford a COO, but they can now build one. Drop a comment if you've already started building AI into your ops. I want to know what's working for people. Shift 3. Your biggest bottleneck is almost always a person, including you. This one stings a little, but it's necessary. In most small businesses, the biggest operational bottleneck is the owner. You're the one approving things that don't need your approval. You're the one holding information that your team needs to do their job. You're the one whose availability determines whether the business moves today or not. That's not a people problem. That's a systems problem. The shift is to start asking, what decisions can I remove myself from? What information is only in my head that needs to live somewhere everyone can access? Where am I the single point of failure in my own business? And then, systematically, you start transferring that out of you and into the operation. SOPs, decision trees, documented processes, clear ownership. Not because you don't care about quality, but because you care about the business surviving and scaling beyond you. 2026 is the year you stop being the bottleneck. That's the shift. Shift 4. Stop tracking revenue. Start tracking margin and repeatability. Revenue is vanity, margin is sanity, and repeatability is the business. I see too many business owners celebrating a big revenue month while quietly running out of cash, or celebrating a new client while secretly dreading the fulfillment because the process isn't built. The shift here is measuring what actually matters, not just what came in, but what's left after you deliver. Not just who bought, but whether you can repeat that acquisition at scale. Not just what grew, but whether the operation is capable of sustaining that growth. The numbers that should live on your weekly dashboard aren't just revenue, it's gross margin, customer acquisition cost, churn or retention rate, fulfillment time, team utilization. When you track the right things, you make the right decisions, and you stop building a business that looks bigger than it actually is. Shift 5. Reset quarterly, not annually. The annual plan is important for direction, but the annual plan is dead for execution. The world moves too fast. Markets shift, offers evolve, team dynamics change. If you're locked into a plan you built in December and you're checking back on it in December, you've lost 12 months of adjustment. The operators I respect most run on 90-day cycles. They set a clear North Star for the year, then they break it into 4 operational quarters, each one with specific priorities, metrics, and accountability built in. Every 90 days they're asking, what worked, what didn't, what do we need more of, and what do we need to stop? That's not losing the plan, that's actually executing one. So if you haven't done a full Q1 operational plan yet, that's your homework coming out of this episode. Let me land this. If 2025 didn't go the way you wanted, I'm going to say something that might be uncomfortable. The business didn't fail you. The system, or the lack of one, is what held you back. And that's actually great news, because systems can be fixed. So here are the 5 shifts one more time. Write these down. 1. Stop planning in goals. Start designing in systems. 2. Build AI into your operations, not just your conversations. 3. Identify where you are the bottleneck, then systematically remove yourself from it. 4. Track margin and repeatability, not just revenue. 5. Stop planning annually. Start resetting quarterly. These aren't ideas, these are commitments, and the operators who make these shifts in Q1 won't be talking about what they're going to do at the end of this year. They'll be showing you. If this episode gave you something you needed to hear, I want to ask you to do one thing. Share it with one person in your network who is building something, because this kind of thinking is rare, and the people around you deserve access to it too. And if you want to go deeper on any of these shifts, especially the operational frameworks and AI integration side, that's exactly what we're building inside the Operator Academy, launching April 2026. The link to get on the founding member waitlist is in the description. First 100 and get founding member pricing, and those spots will go fast. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment with the one shift you're committing to, and we'll see you in the next episode. Wherever you are, that is exactly where you are supposed to be. But that does not mean you have to stay there. Until next time.